So, guys, Arsenal 2, Manchester United nil. Your full-time reaction from the Emirates on this Wednesday evening, where yet again the set pieces from Arsenal are so deadly, and Manchester United completely ignored the warning and completely ignored the quality that Arsenal set pieces that they can do for corners inside the second half. Where I was actually quite pleased that we went in 0-0 at half time. I didn't expect to go in at 0-0 at half time. I was actually quite in a positive mood. I thought we've gone into the break 0-0. At least we haven't conceded. Because in my view, I honestly expected Arsenal to take us apart tonight. But I'm so disappointed by the second half. I thought Manchester United were absolutely miles off where they should be. And the excitement and the positivity on Sunday has been completely wiped out by the second half performance. I'm so disappointed by the defending of the two Arsenal goals from the two Arsenal corners. Again, when you've got Declan Rice, who is deadly from set pieces, he's deadly from corners, and it's just a lack of defensive awareness. It's a lack of quality defended inside your own penalty area, and we've basically given Arsenal two really soft goals tonight. And I think Ruben Amorim would have been quite pleased with the first half. I thought, we did dominate the game in my view. I thought we dominated most of the possession. I thought we controlled most of the ball, and we didn't really give Arsenal realistically any good chances at our goal. And I thought we defended quite well for the first half. And I think the second half we just got completely and utterly outplayed. I thought we got outclassed by the quality of Arsenal in the end. And I think you've got to give it to Mikel Arteta. Whatever he's doing from Arsenal set pieces, they're absolutely deadly from. They're absolutely deadly from their set pieces and from their corners. And this is what Arsenal do to you. If you don't defend in your own penalty area and you give quality players like Saliba and Timber free space in the edge of your penalty area from the corner, you are going to concede goals. You are going to concede from the set piece. And I'm just very disappointed that Manchester United didn't see the set piece danger coming. I thought, we've got to try and at least grab a goal inside the second half. And we've got to really try and start well. But I thought Arsenal came out the much better team. And especially where the pressure has been on Arsenal. And hello to Ryan and Philip in the chat. There was a lot of pressure on Arsenal tonight. There was a lot of pressure on them to deliver a huge result. And again, it's a huge result for Arsenal. It is a huge 3 points. And in the end, I think they do deserve it. As a Manchester United fan, I'm very disappointed the way we conceded both of the goals. I'm very disappointed by the lack of chances inside the second half. And I'm very disappointed with the team's performance. I don't think anyone's going to cover themselves in any glory. And I think we were very sloppy to concede those two goals. And again, it's just the lack of defensive awareness, and it's a lack of quality defending inside your own penalty area. And again, I'm not surprised by it. I think in the end, Arsenal deserve the win. They deserve the points, and they deserve everything they got tonight. Arsenal, you can't take anything away from them. Arsenal deserved what they got. They were the better team in the second half, and at times their football was class. They were ripping us apart inside the second half. I think soon as the second goal went in, I thought the shackles were massively off Arsenal, and they were allowed to have all the space and all the time in the world to score the goals that they needed to get the 3 points tonight. And again, I mean, Paul Tanner says in chat they only scored from the corners, but I think it's the matter of principle that we can't defend. We can't do our defensive job inside our own penalty area. And I think Ruben Amorim is going to be very disappointed by that. I think when you give Timber all that space, and when you give him all that free time to jump above, not just past one, not just past two, but when he's allowed to get above three Manchester United players from a high corner, and he's allowed to jump above all three of them, and he's allowed to get a free header on the ball, and he's allowed to have a free shot on goal. And again, you can't teach that. You really cannot teach that. It's poor defending from Manchester United. Not one of those Manchester United players has jumped as high as what Timber has done to get to the ball first ahead of all three of them. And you can't teach that, I'm afraid. I think it's very poor defending. I think it's very, very poor marking inside your own penalty area. And when you give Timber all the time in the world and he's allowed to get a free header, again, he's going to take that opportunity. He's going to take it and he is going to score. And I think, unfortunately, I wouldn't just blame the defending. I would blame that there's no one on our back post, which really, really infuriates me that we can't do our job. I can't believe Timber's been allowed to have all that space inside our own penalty area. And then I can't really believe the lack of goalkeeping ability from Onana is becoming an absolute circus now. And for not one Manchester United player to be on that back post where Timber gets the header from the ball, from the corner, and the way he's managed to glide that header into the back post. I can't believe not one Manchester United player is on that back post trying to clear that ball and get it away from our goal and get it away from our net. I can't believe no one's at that back post witnessing the brilliance from Jurgen Timber. And again, a player who was massively linked with us under Erik ten Hag, and we didn't get him. And again, I think his quality at Arsenal is now starting to show. You can't teach that quality. That's quality in its own mindset, that you've got an opportunity here from a set piece. And whatever Arteta and his coaching staff are managing to get the best out of the Arsenal set piece taking, it's absolutely phenomenal coaching and it's absolutely phenomenal set piece work that are getting Arsenal more clinical and more dangerous from their set pieces. And unfortunately, when you've got poor Manchester United defending, not just from 3 players to be jumped above by 1 Arsenal player, where you've got no one at the back post covering that side of the net, and when you've got poor goalkeeping from Onana again, how can Manchester United pinpoint that that game was a positive? I'm really, really sorry. Players have had their opportunity now. They've had their chance, and it's about time players were moved out of this football club because, again, I expected to go to the Emirates tonight and get absolutely ripped apart. I felt optimistic, I felt hopeful, and I felt very confident that we could at least get a point. And I wanted to take a point. I would have taken a point at the end of the day. I would have taken that point. I know a point isn't really enough, and I know a point wouldn't have exactly done much for us to climb up the Premier League table. But at the end of the day, if you're going in 0-0 at half-time, you've actually done a good job to hold Arsenal out. You've actually done quite well. You've managed to keep their lack of attacking chances on your goal. You've managed to keep Saka quiet. You've managed to keep Odegaard quiet and Declan Rice and Martinelli and Thomas Partey. For me, Arsenal's 5 main dangers in their current first team. You've managed to keep those 5 very, very quiet so far. And you've actually done quite well to go to the Emirates and go at half-time 0-0. And I think Ruben Amorim would have been really, really pleased by that. And again, whatever happened at half-time, whatever happened of those second half changes, it clearly didn't work. It clearly backfired. And whatever the message was to go out there in the second half and basically hold on and basically let's try and park the bus and break them on the counter-attack, I don't think that game plan worked. I didn't see any game plan in the second half. I honestly thought I saw, in my view, park the bus and let's try and break Arsenal on the counter-attack. For me, that is all I saw from that second half performance, was try and break Arsenal on the counter-attack. Let them at us, let them attack us, and let's try and counter-attack them on the break and try and get forward. For me, in my view, that game plan isn't fucking good enough. They were there for the taking inside that first half. They were massively there for the taking because we, in my view, I thought we dominated that whole that first half. I thought we dominated the ball. I thought we dominated the possession. I thought we managed to, get Arsenal pushed a lot more back towards their goal instead of them having more chances on our goal. And I think, in my view, that's a positive, that we've managed to at least get near Arsenal's end of the pitch and try and at least get at least 1 or 2 cut half chances inside the first half. And realistically, the only decent chance inside the first half was the low shot with from Diogo Dalot. That was all the attacking chances we had on that Arsenal goal for the whole of the first half. And again, that isn't good enough. That is not good enough to have one decent chance on goal for the whole of the first half. In my view, that isn't good enough. That's not clinical. Arsenal were clearly there defensively to be taken. And when Dalot gets the ball and he hits the shot, I honestly thought it was that close to going in. And I think if we would have got that goal and we would have got that lead at half time, which would have been massively unlikely, I thought going into the second half, we could have built on that lead, built on that scoreline, and try and shut this out and try and get the 3 points. But again, it's down to the defending of both goals. And you can't teach our defence how to defend. We have got big fucking problems. And again, I'm disgusted that, when you've got those 3 Man United players inside the penalty area from the corner, what annoys me, how is Timber been allowed to have all that space in the air? How has he managed to leapfrog not 1, not 2, but 3 fucking Manchester United players are in front of him? And he's managed to out-jump all 3. He's basically had to turn into Max Whitlock from the Olympics. He's absolutely had to leap like a salmon and has managed to out-head all 3 of them. You cannot let a corner, especially with the quality that Declan Rice requires and has, you can't let a free corner and a free set piece, and you can't allow that type of quality to be happening inside your own penalty area, because we know what Declan Rice is like from set pieces. We know what he's like from corners. And unfortunately, when Manchester United have obviously failed to get that ball out of their penalty area, it hasn't really surprised me that Arsenal have scored that goal. I'm just disappointed that those 3 Manchester United players in front of Yoran Timber should have realised the quality he offered from set pieces. They shouldn't have allowed him to have all that space. They shouldn't have to have all that time in the world to get a free header on goal. But what annoys me again, when you've got no one at the back post, covering that massive gap in our net to basically aim at it for free, I can't believe not one of those Manchester United players has anticipated, if Yoran Timber gets a header on this, you've left a big fat ass massive gap in our net. Look at the back post and look how much space there was to aim at. Look at the back post. Look how much space there was to aim the head at the goal. And no one has anticipated and realised, oh shit, look at the space. Look at the big in the back post in our net. Why is no one covering that back post? Why is not 1 or 2 United players realising, if Timber gets a free header, we're in big trouble here, because you've left all that space, all that gap at the back post for him to aim at. We've got to get that danger out of our penalty area. We've got to get our head to that ball and clear it out. But unfortunately, because Yoran Timber has been allowed again to have all that space and all that time on the road, and again he's out-leaped 3 United players, unfortunately it's too little too late. But again, I don't think Onana anticipates that all that space has been left, and I'm not blaming Onana at all for the goal. But again, what annoys me, all of a sudden he's got all better in goal in the last few games, in my view. He kept a clean sheet at the weekend, and now all of a sudden he's conceded 2 really, really poor goals inside that second half. And it annoys me because he realises that Timber, Saliba are massive threats in the United penalty area. They're massive threats to the United goal. And when you see Timber get above all 3 of those United players, and he's allowed that space, he's allowed that time, and he's allowed that free header on our goal, Onana should have anticipated, right, he's going to out-leap all 3 of them, and he's going to be allowed to get the time, and he's going to be allowed to get the shot, and he's going to be allowed the space. But in my view, exactly, and what Thomas K. Slam has said in the chat, The earlier we lose, the better, especially for Amrin, to see the reality of United's football. And I completely agree with Thomas in the chat. He's absolutely right. And I tell Thomas is right. Thomas has absolutely pointed out tonight the reality of what Manchester United are, the lack of quality, the lack of great players, and the lack of great attacking footballers that we lack at this club, as well as our midfield, as well as our defence. Thomas has absolutely nailed on that this is going to be a massive reality of United football. And he's absolutely right. Ruben Amorim has got such a huge job. And Thomas, if you're new, please do subscribe, because you're absolutely right. Thomas has nailed it there. The quality that this team needs to go forward under Amorim, this is going to take millions, billions to get Man United anywhere near this level. We can't compete with Arsenal, reality. We can't compete with Newcastle. We can't compete with Tottenham. We can't compete with Chelsea. We can't compete with Liverpool. And we can't compete with Manchester City. The reality is we are going to keep falling further behind them, because when we come up against them at home and away from home as well, we get found out, and we get found out way too easily. I'm just really disappointed by Onana, who is not basically realising. And Onana has to take credit for the first goal as well that we concede. Well done to Onana for screwing it up again. But Onana should realise he's left all that space himself at the back post. He's left that space, and I think he probably anticipated that Timber was going to aim for the front post, the post that Onana was closest to on the first Arsenal goal. I think Onana anticipated that Timber was going to go for the front post. I don't think he anticipated Timber going for the back post. But unfortunately, because Onana has anticipated Timber is going to aim at the front post, unfortunately, Onana is going to leave all that space. He's going to leave that big, huge gap to aim at. And again, what annoys me, he doesn't just make a mockery of the front post and he basically gives the post a hug because he thinks Timber's going to aim for the front post. He just stands there and lets the ball leap over him. I can't believe he's not bothered to dive for it. I can't believe he's not bothered to try and get a hand to it. And I can't believe he's not even fucking bothered to try and at least keep this out. Like, I know you've left all that space and you've left an open shot at the goal at the back post, but you can't just stand there and let the ball go over. You can't just let Timber go for goal. You've got to try and unleash your error and recorrect it. And unfortunately, it's too little too late. When you've got Onana just basically standing there like a fucking statue, how the fuck are we meant to keep that out? Not one United player's on that back post. It's poor goalkeeping and it's really fucking poor defending from the United players on the first goal. The first goal is massively savable. But unfortunately, when you let that Arsenal player have all that time in the world, have that free header on goal, you're basically welcoming him in. Like, come on in, have a free shot on goal, be our guest. Let's expose our shit again. And unfortunately, these United players are shit. This lot of players are crap. All of a sudden, Sunday to Wednesday, we look miles off. We can't go to Arsenal and compete. There's the reality, ladies and gentlemen. We can't compete with them because they've got better players who are better than ours, who have got better quality than half of our players we've got here. And unfortunately, let's talk about the second goal, the second fuck up from Manchester United defensively again. So again, you've got Saka on the second Arsenal corner for the second goal. What really fucks me off, again, the only problem I have got, again, is the problems from the two fucking goals that cost us a clean sheet, that cost us at least a point tonight. I would have taken a point, even though, realistically, a point would have done fuck all in terms of a result. It would have done nothing tonight. But the second goal, I thought the defending from the first goal was shocking. The defending for the second goal is absolutely, quite frankly, pathetic. So Saka's got the corner. He plays the ball into the penalty area. What annoys me, our back post We are not anticipating that the threat of Arsenal players have seen the threat from the first goal that they caused, and they saw that we can get at the back post quite quickly. Let's aim for where we caused the problems for the first goal for us, and let's expose that weakness again. What annoys me, it's a great corner from Saka. It's a great set piece again from Arsenal's coaches and their players, who are absolutely phenomenal from set pieces. You can't take that away. But once again, United do not deal with their problems. United do not learn from the first fucking goal. Again, you've got the threats of Saliba in there, Kai Havertz, Martin Odegaard, Urin Timber. You've got all the threats inside that Arsenal in the United penalty area. They're going to anticipate, well, if United concede from the first set piece, we can easily get at the set piece routine again, and we can make the second goal happen quite quickly. And again, you've got so many United players in that penalty area. Basically, all of them are in there. All the players in that second half are in that penalty area trying to deal with the second Arsenal set piece, the second Arsenal corner that causes the second Arsenal goal. And you would have thought United would have learnt their lesson from the first goal. You would have thought, right, let's not do that again. Let's not make that problem a problem again. Because the second goal absolutely killed us. The second goal, the morale went, the confidence went, the morale dropped, the heads dropped. United players gave up. The United players basically gave up tonight. Soon as the second goal happened, we gave up. And again, that is the reality of what Ruben Amorim's going to have to fucking deal with at this football club. Whenever the first goal goes in, it's all right. We might find a way back. Let's not drop our heads too early. As soon as the second goal goes in, we're giving up now. We can't be bothered now. We can't fight this back. Again, there's no response. There was fuck all for a response tonight. And the ones I feel sorry for is the fans. The ones I feel sorry for are the supporters that have had to watch that shit in the second half. We've had to witness 49 minutes of fucking bollocks in the second half. 49 minutes of bollocks. That was United basically gave up after the second goal. And I thought, you know what? We're 1-0 down. It's not game over. Let's at least try and find a way back at that Arsenal team. Let's at least try and find a way back. Because the first goal, yeah, we've defended pretty pathetically. But don't repeat the same mistake. And again, we have to talk about it. Because the defending is shocking for the second goal. So you've got all the United players surrounding the Arsenal players inside the penalty area. The only one that has been allowed unmarked, no one sees him as a threat in the penalty area. The United players are basically blind that they don't anticipate. You know Thomas Partey, who is a threat aerially and can be a threat if you leave him unmarked. Who is marking Thomas Partey in our penalty area? Why is not one United player anticipated? Right, so we gave Timber all that space. Why have we allowed Thomas Partey again to be unmarked on our own penalty area? Why is not one United player anticipated? Why has he been given all that space? Why has he been given all that time? Why has he been allowed to make a free run at the back post again to create the second Arsenal goal? So as soon as the Arsenal corner is taken, Thomas Partey runs round 3 United players again at the back post, right? He rings round the back, the 3 United players trying to surround Thomas Partey. And unfortunately, again, United players have got to take responsibility for the goal. All of you have got to take responsibility. And again, because Thomas Partey has made that run round 3 of the United players in their own penalty area, he's allowed to get a free header on the ball. He's allowed all that space. He's allowed all that time. And not one of you idiots has realised, yeah, it might have been a good idea if we managed to keep that back post a bit more defensively solid. Why is no one at that back post? Why has no one anticipated Thomas Partey making that run round those 3 United players. There's 3 fucking players at near the back post, but nowhere near it. You've let him have all that space. You've allowed him to make that run, and you've allowed him to attack our goal, and he's allowed to get a free header onto that ball. And then what happens from then? He gets a free header and he gets the assist for the ball then to go off Saliba's hip and back into the United net. I knew he was going to say that. I absolutely knew he was going to say that. It's absolutely shocking. It really, really is fucking shocking defending. Like, you've allowed Thomas Partey all that time, and he's allowed to get a free header on for the assist for Saliba to score the goal, and he's allowed to get the ball's gone off his hip into the bottom fucking the back post back corner of the net. And not one of his United players are anywhere near Saliba again. There's 3 of them surrounding Saliba. There's 3 of them surrounding Saliba. And no one's anticipated Thomas Partey could make a run. Just look at it. It's unbelievable. Yeah, love you too, mate. You're a legend. And fair play. You deserve the win. You deserve the result. Not going to blame you. You deserve it tonight. But again, it's quite simple for United not to fuck up defensively. And they've done it for both goals. It's just absolutely shocking. Like, it really, really is, quite frankly, shocking. You can't give Thomas Partey that free run inside your own penalty area. You shouldn't be allowing him to target the back post. And you shouldn't be allowing him to get quite an easy assist for Saliba, for the ball to go in off Saliba's hip. And again, you've also got to question the goalkeeper. Why is ONANA just fucking standing there? Like, why is not anyone taking any responsibility defensively for keeping these chances out? Why is not one United player holding their hands up, taking some kind of responsibility tonight? Why is no one taking it? It's fucking pathetic defensive work from the United set piece strategics. Like, you can't teach that defending. When you get it right, you get it right. But when you get it wrong, in which United did for both of the fucking goals, are you surprised we've conceded? Because I'm not. I am really not fucking surprised by both of the Arsenal goals that come from both of their set pieces. Like, United need to be defending better. But when you give players time, when you give them space, it doesn't surprise me. And again, it results in the 2 of the Arsenal goals. And fancy them being both from set pieces. Again, Arteta and Arsenal are going to be loving that. And again, it's a huge 3 points for them. They're still in the title race. They're massively backing it tonight. They're massively backing it. And so are Man City. Like, again, it just really annoys me that the simple defensive work at Man United, these players don't fucking do it. The players do not do it. It just makes you wonder what the fuck is going on. We were awful in that second half. Like, it's like we went into the second half absolutely thrilled of ourselves. It's like we got into ourselves a bit too much. It just felt like, in my view, United gave up in the second half and they did not know what to do. I mean, I'm not being funny. I think the team selections are a joke. I think some of the selections tonight are an absolute disgrace. And I think some of those players that should have started tonight, again, are back on the bench. And the excuse will be, well, we've got 9 games in a month. We've got to freshen the team up. We have to change things. We have to change the way we play and the way we want to play football. Does it look like I care? Does it actually look like I give a fuck that you're playing football? Does it look like I care about your feelings and your emotions and the way you express yourselves? At the end of the day, we're having to freshen things up and change the team because we've got 9 games in a month. Like, is that the excuse now? We're playing too much football. There's too much on these players' shoulders. There's too much for them to cope with. At the end of the day, they're professional footballers who are paid hundreds of thousands of pounds a week to produce that shit in the second half. And you're basically coming out with the excuses, well, it's a big month. There's 9 games. We have to change the team. We don't have to pick injuries up. Oh, forgot. who's got injured again, and he's been back for 2 fucking games. 2 games. What? Yeah. Thank you. Cheers. He's been back for 2 games. He's been back for 2 games. And all of a sudden, everyone's feeling sorry for him. Everyone's got their fucking violin out, strumming their violin. And it's like, oh, we feel sorry for Luke Shaw. It's not his fault. We can't pick on him. We can't blame him. Right. He's been injury prone for how many seasons? He's been back for less than 2 games and he's already out again. And we're all feeling sorry for him. I've got no sympathy for these injury prone players. I'm sorry. United are in a mess defensively because we've got too many problems inside that back 4. We've got too many injuries to certain players who are favourites of the fan base, and fans feel sorry for them. Certain supporters are feeling really, really bad for Luke Shaw. Get the fuck over it. Get over it. He's injury prone. He's useless. And he needs to have a hard, long look at himself now. Look in the mirror and face reality. You're not coming back from this. Your career is over. You are injury prone. The more injuries you get, the worse it's going to get. And Luke Shaw has got to take responsibility. If he wasn't ready and he wasn't fit, he should have owned up and be honest. And again, the United players have probably felt sorry for him because he probably would have been involved in some aspect of the game tonight. But again, we're stuck with Malacia, who's our only recognised left wing back or our left back, and he's coming straight back into the team again. And again, I have to blame Ruben Amorim in some aspect for picking that team. Like, the amount of changes from Everton to today, I don't understand. I really am struggling to understand why change quite a big performance on Sunday and change half the team. Like, again, I know we haven't got Martinez and I know we haven't got KOBBIE mainly tonight because they're both suspended because they picked up stupid yellow cards against Everton and they're both out through suspension. But reality is, you've changed half the team from Sunday to today to freshen things up because they're playing so much football. I mean, are we having a laugh? Is this meant to be funny? Is this meant to be a joke? I am fuming with this performance. I'm not happy because both goals are preventable. Both goals defensively that we've conceded are a joke. And United have allowed it to happen because certain players have got selected tonight that should have been nowhere near that team. I'm sorry. I think the team selection is a disgrace. I don't understand and justify Malacia coming back in. I don't understand that. I don't know what the thinking of is that. I really am struggling to understand what that was going to do. I really am struggling because we've got a back 3 of Mazraoui, DALOT and Maguire. You've got left wing back Malacia, and all of a sudden we've then brought DALOT in at right wing back for Ahmad, who for me, realistically, has to be the only one I can give player of the match to tonight. Dropping Ahmad was pathetic. Dropping Ahmad to the bench is a joke. He's our best attacking player going forward at this current moment in time in that right wing back position that causes the opposition problems. And he's back on the bench again. What's the problem this time? We're struggling to agree a new contract for him. He wants better wages because he's actually performing well. What's the excuse for Ahmad not to be starting that game? Because he is the only one trying in that second half. He was the only one who wasn't afraid to attack Zinchenko and get inside that Arsenal penalty area. He wasn't afraid to attack that Arsenal back 4 and actually run at them. Because I didn't see anything like that in the first half from any of them. I didn't see any of that. I really didn't. Because the right wing back, you've put DALOT in. Like, make that make any sense? We're basically playing DALOT on the right wing. We've got Bruno and Ugarte in the midfield, which doesn't work. We've got Malacia at left wing back. And the front three contains Mason Mount, Rasmus Højlund, and Garnacho. Garnacho, who was only really a surprise second half cameo against Everton, who hardly played a lot of minutes on Sunday, is brought straight back in. Rasmus Højlund, who didn't kick a ball on Sunday, is brought straight back in. And you're playing Mason Mount in a front three where it does not fucking work. And we're trying to make it work. I'm sorry to say, for me, the team selection's on Ruben Amorim. I wouldn't have not changed that winning team. You've got two players on that bench tonight that scored two goals each on Sunday. And all of a sudden, we've got to change the team massively for Arsenal. And again, I know Ruben Amorim's come out and made the comments, well, you know, DALLOT's better in the right wing back. He's in a better position there. I'm sorry, I completely disagree. DALLOT is useless. If the rumours are true, Real Madrid are after him and they're willing to pay 50 million. I'm sorry to say, Manchester United, I am fucking taking it. I am taking it in a heartbeat. Because I don't think DALLOT offered much going forward except for that one half chance he had in that Arsenal penalty where he absolutely hit it with a screamer and it only just went past the Arsenal back post. And really, that should have gone in. Again, that should have ended up as United 1-0 up. He should have scored that. Again, there's no excuse. It's a poor finish. It's clinically pathetic. It's clinically not good enough because he's in an unrecognised position. And he's being forced to play a bit more higher up the pitch, which doesn't suit DALLOT. And we're playing him at right wing back, where we thought Ahmad was meant to be that option. And Ahmad is on the bench. It makes no sense because he's the only one trying. He's the only one who's not afraid to do the juggler. He's not afraid to attack the opposition. He doesn't just stand there and let the opposition attack him. He goes he goes at them. He don't just stop. He keeps going. And all of a sudden, we think it would be a bit more beneficial if he's played a bit more of a better role from the bench. I'm sorry, but that is logically insane that he should be on the bench tonight. That was clinically a wrong decision from Amorim. And then to, make things worse, I think, again, the midfield is shit when you've had to put Bruno next to Ugarte. And again, I thought Bruno was poor tonight. The only thing I thought Bruno did realistically any well was when Martinelli was attacking the left wing for Arsenal and he managed to get the ball off him and concede an Arsenal throw-in. That was all I saw from Bruno tonight. No leadership, no captain, nothing special, just quite casual, quite lethargic, if you want to say so. I did not see the Bruno I've seen the last few games. I thought Bruno didn't look at it tonight, for me, in my view. I thought he looked quite boring. I thought not anything special, quite safe. Didn't really want to play any risks. Didn't really want to create something that we haven't seen. I thought tonight's play was dreadful. I mean, the amount of times we played that ball back to Onana was incredible. The amount of times we had to play out from Onana was incredible. I thought we played the ball back way too much tonight. It was very conservative. It was very, very boring. Playing out from the back, play out from Onana, play to the back three, get the ball to the midfield, try and get it to the attack. Again, we don't get on the ball enough. We don't really dominate the possession in the second half. And I think as soon as the Arsenal second goal went in, the shackles were off and they absolutely battered us. I mean, they had 2 or 3 more good chances to absolutely rub salt into the United wins tonight. That was shocking in that second half. That was really, really shit. Like, the response from 2-0 down was, there wasn't no response. It was lethargic. It was quite, in my view, Manchester United have gone back to their old ways. That was a real, real worry in that second half. Soon as the second goal happens, I just don't have the answers. I don't know where that went wrong. Well, we all know where it went wrong. It was the second Arsenal goal and the first one. If we wouldn't have conceded the 2 chances Arsenal had from the set piece, from their set pieces from the corners, and we would have defended them slightly better, we would have kept them out tonight and we would have at least got a point. A point would have been shit, but a point would have been better than nothing. And do you know what? I probably would have, it would have been a lot more positive. I think it would have been a lot more reactive. But I've had to go in on United because I just don't think I didn't feel good during the game. I felt really shit. Like I didn't get that we were going to come out of this game with anything. And again, I was quite optimistic on the look ahead or the preview, whatever you want to call it. I thought, do you know what? There's a lot more pressure on Arsenal. They might buckle under the pressure, but they don't. Arsenal do not buckle under the pressure. And they are managing to keep up their consistency. Their threat in front of goal is quality. Their midfield is quality. Their back four is miles better than ours. And for me, the only chance was in the second half for us was the Matthias de Ligt header, in which David Raya absolutely pulled off a magnificent save. Like, I do not know how that didn't go in, but that was a fucking fantastic save from David Raya to David de Ligt. And I think, wasn't that the point we were 1-0 down at that point? And we tried to, get an equaliser. I don't know if it was 0-0 or Arsenal 1-0 up at that time, but if that would have gone in, that might have changed the gameplay. That might have changed the outcome of the result. I think if De Ligt would have got the goal, I mean, I don't know, again, how I say David Raya's kept out. It is a fucking fantastic save. You've got to give David Raya 4 plaudits for that save because he's kept Arsenal out there. He's kept a clean sheet as well. I mean, 2 chances on goal for the whole 99 minutes. It's just not great, is it? It's not great. So 94 minutes, 94 minutes and we've had 2 chances on goal for the whole game. It shows where the problems are. It shows where the problems are. And again, United were exposed massively in my view. And I think really the only other player along from Ahmad that can hold his head high is UGARTE. Like, the quality he offers that midfield is night and day. Like, he's a massive upgrade on Eriksen and Casemiro. He's miles better than Mason Mount. And again, I think the midfield is suffering because we don't really have that midfield set up properly. I think Bruno is probably suited more in the front three that Ruben Amorim wants to play, even though in my view, I think, Bruno Fernandes is suited more better in the centre attacking midfield role next to an UGARTE or in front of an UGARTE or next to him. I don't think we saw anything from Bruno tonight, but I think what we get from UGARTE is calm. He doesn't panic with the ball. He doesn't try and play it too risky. He does all the basics. He does all the basics right. He brings calm. He brings justification. And he brings a lot of balance. And I think for me, we would be lost without UGARTE in that midfield. And it shows why he's getting a lot of the game time. It shows why we brought him from PSG. And he's starting to show that the quality is there in his game to make that midfield a lot more calmer, a lot more stable, and a lot more balanced, and a lot more justified with his performances again. So, like I said, I think the only 2 that hold their heads out tonight is UGARTE and Ahmad, because for me, UGARTE was probably our brightest spark during the first half. As for the second half, I feel sorry for Ahmad. I feel really sorry for the guy. Like, he didn't do anything wrong not to start tonight. It didn't make sense why he was benched. I think that was a massive, massive negative, and I think that was a massive mistake because he managed to get in that Arsenal penalty area. He managed to attack their back four, and he managed to get in at Zinchenko. I think if Ahmad was given that opportunity in the first half and he would have been selected and he would have started, then I think this would have been a different outcome. But again, United have failed to defend the Arsenal set-piece threat. And when you concede 2 stupid goals like that, 2 soft goals and 2 idiotic mistakes defensively, it's not a surprise this has ended Arsenal 2, Manchester United 0. So I hope you enjoyed this full-time reaction. Please hit the like button, the share button. Please keep subscribing to the channel, United Red Devils 20. Share the video, hit the tweet button, hit the retweet button. Remember to always remember the notification bell. Please put the bell on at all times to receive dedicated upcoming brand new content of brand new videos, brand new shorts, brand new live stream that we've got in these last few weeks of 2024 in December. We're only 21 days from Christmas Day, so I hope you're looking forward to the festive season. And please join me for the live look ahead tomorrow evening, where we'll be discussing the Premier League game at Old Trafford on the Saturday evening between Manchester United and the surprise package of the season, Nottingham Forest under Nuno Espirito Santo. United have got to pick themselves up for this. I just hope this doesn't derail everything, and I hope we respond. But tonight was a reality check. We are miles off where we need to be, and that was humbling in the second half, and we deserve to lose. So enjoy the rest of Wednesday evening. Stay safe. Be nice. Be kind to each other. You're all legends. You're all legendary. I'll see you all on the next one. So disappointing.